All right, I'm Jason Babin with the Tennessee Titans here at the Players Association meeting in Florida. A little UStream, it's my first one, so pretty excited. So you'll have to bear with me if I mess up something. Hasn't been a lot going on here in my life, just working out and kind of relaxing after the season, so it's been pretty slow. Yeah, there's a couple places in Nashville that kind of open their doors up to us to work out, and some strength and conditioning coaches that are willing to help out. So it'll be different, but it'll, maybe one of those things where it kind of brings everybody a little closer together. So it could be fun. We'll see. The biggest thing that on Twitter and Facebook that people have been saying is that they're a little upset with us. And I try to convey to them that we didn't want this to stop. We didn't have any part in stopping it. It was the owners that said, you guys are done. We're going to cancel the CBA. So I just try to convey that to them that we could go right now and go back the way it was and we'd be happy. Since they want to know if we're covered by insurance during the lockout, no, it's actually a good question. It's obviously a lot of our minds is. Once the lockout happened, we were no longer on the insurance. We had opted for a COBRA plan that we have to come out of pocket to pay, like a lot of people do. So it's one of the benefits that we lost when the owners locked us out and put a chain on the door and said can't come in. Another question here. It says realistically, when do you think a deal will be done? What motivates the owners? Well, it's kind of hard to say when the deal will be done because right now we can't even negotiate because what's going on with the class action lawsuit. I know ideally that we would like the deal to be done as soon as possible, but there's some legalities surrounding that with the lawsuit. What are my plans for working out during the lockout? Well, I stay in Houston during the off season, so there's a couple places there we work out. There's a place called Plex and a place called Velocity. And, Velocity's owned by former NFL player Aaron Glenn. So I know he's opened up his doors to, a lot of the guys that live there in the off-season. It's a pretty good place to train. It says, do you support or watch the LFL? You guys help me out with that one? The Lingerie Football League. I have not been to an LFL game. I'm not sure which cities have teams, but if someone left some tickets at will call for me, maybe I would go check it out. I don't know. I tell you what, the thing about this week, traditionally it's more of a housekeeping for the union. But now it seems to be the majority of the topics we talk about are lockout related, what's going on, what our plans are. So the meeting, I think, is every day is kind of running on a little longer and longer because we have so much information to try and cram in this short week here. And we have yet to get to any association housekeeping stuff. What's the vibe from the guys when you relay the info from the meetings? Honestly, we got some feedback from yesterday. Jake of the team rep sent a letter to all the guys in Tennessee, and a lot of them we first had thought responded back to us from the letter that Roger Goodell had sent all the players, but then we realized that we were just copied in on the letter that a lot of the players actually responded back to Roger himself with their concerns and their complaints. So I don't know if that letter that Roger sent, kind of backfired on him, because as I talked to some of the other guys around the hotel here, and their players around that aren't here, they sent letters to Roger as well, via the email, complaints, concerns, because they knew the details inside and out. I mean, these guys, everybody in the NFL is educated, from the reps on down. So they knew what was going on, so they kind of called bull expletive, on Roger's letter and send it back to him, pointing out the misleading information. So I thought that was great by all the other guys. It says, hey Jason, you're my favorite Titan. You're a beast last year. Oh, that's a nice comment. Any chance to stay with the Titans after this all this lockout stuff is over and football starts again? My plans are stay with the Titans first and foremost. But they, just like anybody else, they can't really do any negotiation type stuff until, the lockout is in place, merely for the fact that they don't know what the cap number will be. They don't want to shoot themselves in the foot, promised me the X, and they can't fit it under the budget. So there's there's some things that have to come in place before they can start negotiating contracts. It's kind of the theme what all the other teams are doing as well. It says revenue sharing. Our owners like Kraft, Snyder, and Jerry Jones creating a divide on the revenue sharing issue. Well, they just definitely want more of the revenue. I mean, that's basically their bottom line is saying, all they don't care about player safety issues. They don't care about other things that we bring to the forefront. They just care about revenue. What's the bottom line? How much are we going to put in our pocket? And from what the executive committee had relayed to us, that was some of the frustrating things that happened for them when they were trying to discuss other topics. And all they kept wanting to come back to is the revenue, the revenue, the revenue. So yeah, they definitely want more of the revenue to come in to their pocket. And just to keep in mind, the current deal we had, that the owners could have continued down the same path, on the same deal that they opted out of, we'd be perfectly happy with. We think it's a fair deal, it's a fair amount of revenue. So it's the owners that just say we want more money. They want more money. Says, hey Jason, I know Carson Palmer wants to be traded from Cincinnati. Want to know if he's going to be able to get the deal done or not. That's not up to me. But yeah, I imagine usually when a player says, I want to be traded, I want out of here, and especially he's a high-profile player like him, that they'll definitely facilitate a trade to somebody. And at a quarterback position, there's always teams that are in desperate need of quarterbacks. How long have you been a team rep? This is my first year being a team rep, so it's all pretty new to me. And this is what motivated you to take on the responsibility. I think with everything going on, especially this year and in the really the past 2 years, because the owners have been planning for this lockout, I felt like I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to help out any way I could, whether it was a rep, whether it was filing papers, any way I could add in to help the cause of the players, past, present, and future. Let's see here. What else we got? Would you be open to playing the 2011 season on the current deal? Well, absolutely. I think that would be fair for everybody, and that's what we had hoped would have happened, because we could have done so if the owners just didn't cancel it. What's going on with I guess with the CBL is able to be traded? You guys help me on that one. What's going on with the CBL? I'm assuming it's somebody's initials.
Or CBA.
Oh, CBA. Yeah. If the new CBA deal is done, what would be the length of the new contract? I think the owners proposed a 10-year contract in their proposals of contracts. But as you look at this past CBA deal, they had options to opt out certain things. So just because there's a contract is 10 years doesn't mean it's going to come to fruition. I mean, look at NFL players' contracts. They could sign a 10-year contract and get cut the very next year. Just the way it goes. Hey, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate your support for the NFL players that we need right now. It's crucial that you guys understand the message, the truth. That we didn't opt out of this deal. We want to stay in. We want to stay in the current deal, and we'd be happy to go back to the old deal so we can have a season to have fans there and you guys watch us play. And that's all we want to do is just let us play. Thanks, guys.